not Halloween yet.
Not quite yet. It's coming up.
Every year, our wonderful, beautiful coworker Jensen creates.
And you forgot handsome.
Handsome. He creates.
Beautiful and handsome.
For the past 6 years, I think.
At least
6 years. He's created the Scarecrow video Psychotronic challenge, and that is a prompt for every day of October to watch a horror movie, and he creates these really creative prompts.
Incredible prompts, and like, you can't stress enough how, like, I think a lot of the people that followed the Psycho Challenge every year think that it's sort of the product of all of us.
Oh, it's
But
Jensen.
no, it is Jensen
It's fucking
who
Jensen.
does this all on his own because he loves it. A total doll baby teddy bear, one of my favorite people.
And a papa.
A papa,
A papa
yes.
to a little boy.
We love him.
We love Jensen. So this year, like the rest before, we have a challenge. And since this is coming out on the 22nd or 23rd, around there, we have decided to give you guys some recommendations.
For like the tail end of the categories.
And if you are watching any of this stuff, if you're doing the Psycho Challenge, tag us, and then also hashtag SCB Psycho Challenge.
Yeah.
Because we love seeing what you guys are watching.
Yeah, we love it. We
really
love
fun.
seeing what you say. We retweet it. We do all that stuff.
I don't personally do this challenge.
I don't do it either.
Sometimes I happen to look at it and then I'm like, oh, okay, tight, I'll do this. I do the Hooptober on
You do
Letterboxd.
Hooptober. I don't watch a lot of horror movies, so it's just not a thing that I do.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
And I do my one day 13 movies.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, what's your marathon this year, Rich?
I have them listed at home. So
you do decades, right?
decades, yeah, one per decade, starting in 1890.
Have you figured out what you're going to do yet? Absolutely.
I haven't done it yet.
I forgot about that.
Absolutely, but I mean, like, this is my favorite tradition of anybody I know.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Each of us has come up with just a few recommendations for the tail end of this challenge. Matt,
No, you want me to go first?
I would love for you to go
Okay.
first.
Day 23, we have a category Psychogeography. The Land Haunts You. I went a little basic for this. I went with the original Pet Sematary.
Nice.
I didn't care for the remake, but this movie rules, and it's based on my favorite Stephen King book.
I did The Ruins, Carter Smith.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Ruins.
that one's so good.
This one's great. I actually met him at North Bend because he had a new film out and he was just hanging out with everybody.
What's the new movie?
He's a good guy. It's called Swallowed.
Oh, he did Swallowed.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gross and good. But the first thing I said to him, I was like, I loved The Ruins. And he's like, man, I never thought people would come up to me and say that, but it happens
The movie
a lot.
rips. It's
It
so
fucking
good.
rules. These friends go to check out these Mayan ruins, and the vines and the plants and the geography start to fuck with their heads. There's like a scene where they think they hear a cell phone, and it's the plants mimicking a sound. It's just like, it's really messed up. Also, Jenna Malone rules. And Rich, do you have a psychogeography?
I picked Jugface.
Dude. Okay,
I don't know this
tell
one.
us a bit about it.
It's basically about an Appalachian village that sacrifices people periodically to a pit.
That's what they all do.
And the pit
Pits love
wants
sacrificial
what it
people.
wants. And so every so often someone in the village, they're hypnotized or whatever, and they go into like some sort of fit. They create a jug with a face on it from someone in the village, and they don't know what they did. And then when they bring it out of the kiln,
I hate that.
person has to go.
That's so
into the pit.
scary.
Oh, shit.
I don't like that at all.
It's
That
really
sounds
very
great.
cool. Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard about it, but I didn't know it was actually like you took the
No, I
jug
haven't
out
seen
and then
it
your
either.
face is on it. That means you have to be sacrificed to the pit. That's fucked.
24, Holy Sheet.
Oh, I did one too. Okay, perfect.
Did I Just See a Ghost? And I went with a movie that scared the hell out of me as a little kid. And this is going to come up again when people watch our interview with Brian Sauer on the live stream this weekend. A movie called Lady in White, which was like a staple of my youth as a kid in the 80s.
There you go.
There we go. This is not super easy to find on physical media, but like you can see that our rental by approval sticker on here.
Yeah.
Meaning this is pretty out of print. This is deeply upsetting to me, and it's about like a little boy who witnesses a murder, but there's also a ghost involved.
I need you to watch this. I
has
feel like I
a
have
very weird vibe of like sort of what you might have called like pre-adolescent literature at the time, like the kind of books that you maybe got from your school library
Like
when you
some
were like
fucked up
8,
YA,
9, 10.
like-
Yeah, but like pre-YA.
Yeah.
Like not when you're 13, 14,
Okay.
when you're like 8 or 9. It reminds me of a book that I liked when I was a kid called Wait Till Helen Comes. That was the name of the book. And it was like, you know, kid moves into a new house and there's a ghost involved. This has that very eerie vibe to it. Great movie. Not easy to see, underappreciated.
My holy sheet is Lace Crater, which is a super kind of mumblecore indie horror movie about this girl who goes with her friends after she gets broken up with. They go and vacation in the Hamptons, and she has a wild night of like drunken, drug doing partying, and then she goes to her little like Airbnb or whatever, and they're like, oh, this house is haunted, like you're staying in the pool house or whatever, and she meets this entity that's just wearing a bunch of rags, and he's like a ghost, and they end up like having a beautiful, like awesome, like drunken connection night where they talk about everything, and then they end up having sex.
With a ghost.
Yeah. And then the next following days, she starts having weird body shit happen to her. So she has like an STI from a ghost, but a ghost that she had a really crazy connection
That sounds amazing.
with. This movie is great. Joe Swanberg's in it, who's a big fucking indie darling. You know him.
You've seen this? This sounds amazing.
I love this movie. I think it's like really thoughtful and precious and also fucked up and goopy and gross. Do you have a ghost movie, Rich?
I do. It's a made-for-TV movie that I played today because it was TV movie day.
You played it in the store today?
I did. Called Haunts of the Very Rich, which is an anti-fantasy island movie where a bunch of swells land at a resort, but maybe it's hell.
Dude, I love when rich people get into dark shenanigans. I just love it.
25, Craig's Twist. What if? When that iffy roommate situation goes sour in a dangerous way, and I picked a movie that I like a lot but don't love, but it's really good, and it's Danny Boyle's sort of big breakout movie, Shallow Grave.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Hugh McCracken versus, a few of his roommates. There's a dead body, there's a bunch of money.
Oh, I have seen this.
Yeah, there's a cop, there's a detective.
Is that
It's a whole thing.
Criterion?
It is a Criterion.
Interesting.
It's a pretty good movie. Also, we covered it on an episode of The Suspense is Killing Us, the great podcast that you are now a part of.
It is a great podcast.
So this is a fun one. I would check this out.
Mine is, I got The Vagrant for the roommate.
Yeah!
So this movie is so fucking goofy and so much fun. Bill Paxton gets a house and he's like, cool, I'm gonna be a homeowner. And then this vagrant homeless person who is across the way starts tormenting him and driving him absolutely nuts, and it culminates in this weird like discovery that he's always been trying to drive him nuts. And you guys will, when you watch it, you'll see kind of like more of the plot points, but it's like there's like gory gross stuff in it, there's like funny ass physical comedy in it, and then there's like the like heartfelt shit that only Bill Paxton can like bring to a fucking movie, where you're like, I want this guy to be a good homeowner in suburbia, but like this, like all this shit keeps happening.
In my opinion, it has a very like good early Tim Burton vibe.
Oh, definitely. If you like The Burbs, you'll probably like this.
Yeah, The Burbs, for sure.
But yeah, Vagrant, super fun. If you're looking for something for this challenge, I think this is like a fun like watch with a group of friends type movie.
100%.
Yeah, I don't have any for the next 5, so.
Oh, really? 26 is game shows. It says, roll the bones, try your luck, gamble with your life.
I chose Series 7.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Which is a movie a lot of people forget about, but it's this great, it's a reality show parody where people are basically tasked to kill someone else in the country. And so they have to go there and find them and kill them while someone else is trying to kill them.
Okay.
And it's all televised.
27, The Natural Entertainer. Watch one with a pro wrestler turned actor. Put some raw fun in your movie mania.
I know I could have come up with a good one, but I just didn't.
I failed on this one. What'd you do?
I chose See No Evil because
Oh, yeah.
I saw it in the theater with Brian Tice.
Wait, who's in it?
Kane.
Is
Okay,
that...
I
or-
thought it was like See No Evil, and it was like John Cena Evil.
Is that not directed by one of the Dark brothers who used to make porno?
Absolutely, Zuck Brothers.
Yeah. 28, I did Space Oddities.
Aliens in the form of humans. Or
Yes.
Like mimicry.
Yes, and so I decided on the third remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, or second remake, by Abel Ferrara, Body
So good.
Snatchers.
That
Okay.
so good.
Love Ferrara.
And
love this
people
remake.
think this movie is bad,
Look at the cover.
but it is
Look at the hot pink goop,
insanely
dude.
good. It takes a lot of its fear from like the idea of like being a part of a family. That's what's weird, is like the indoctrination is not like communism or self-help, like
It's
say
like-
in the 70s
It's
one.
like a media family.
Yeah,
type,
it's like
suburban,
family
perfect,
and the
picture
military at the same time. They're doing a whole thing. Also, Meg Tilly as the possessed mom in this,
Meg Tilly.
absolutely insane. This movie is deeply, deeply underappreciated, and coming from Abel Ferrara, like, this is not the kind of movie he makes.
No.
And it is spectacular. It's not better than Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's also not better than Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It is, however, fucking great.
Do you have a 28, Rich?
I do. I went with the classic Hidden.
Oh.
The Hidden? The Jack Shoulder?
Yeah.
Did you see that at Fantastic Fest?
Incredible.
I did it, but I did see another movie by that director who was there,
Yeah.
12 Days of Terror, which is an old made-for-TV shark movie.
He also did Freddy 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh, nice.
The Hidden
The Hidden is great.
is so
I
fucking
really
great.
love the Hidden. Yeah.
I would be surprised if most of our audience has not seen it.
But if you haven't,
But if you haven't,
go for it. What's 29?
my last one, 29. I did 29. Exercise or exercise? You'll work it out. I went a little bit off script for this, but I
Okay.
did one of my favorite demonic possession movies, Mausoleum.
Oh, I have seen that, I think.
Mausoleum, starring Playboy Playmate Bobby Breesy and garbage movie staple Marjo Gortner. This is
What a name.
one of the great trash Exorcist ripoffs. It's about a rich lady who gets possessed by a demon because it's in her bloodline to be possessed by demons.
She's gotta.
And it also features a sequence in which her boobs get possessed by demons, and so like her breasts kill a guy.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen this because I would definitely remember
Yeah,
that.
she has demon boobs, and I won't spoil it, the last moment, I guess, of this film that takes place in a graveyard is one of the most inexplicable, incalculably weird, nonsensical things I've ever seen in a movie. It's literally a minor side character shrugging at the camera and going like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe the movie is over now. You'll know it when you see it, but you gotta check out
Oh
Mausoleum.
man, I think I need to check out
This is
Mausoleum.
one of the stupidest movies ever made.
I'm just gonna take this right home with me. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Do you have a 29, Rich?
I do Invitation to Hell,
Oh,
the old Wes Craven made-for-TV movie.
30. Devil's Night. Watch one with mischief, mayhem, or pranks in it, but please keep the fires to a minimum.
All right, so mine is Trick or Treat, and it's 2007, Michael Dougherty.
Good stuff.
This movie is fantastic. It's 3 different stories with a roundabout story. It all takes place on Halloween night. In this little neighborhood, we have a little kid and his dad who was a killer, carving pumpkins, greeting trick-or-treaters. We have the old folk tale of this school bus full of kids that gets into an accident. They all come back as ghosts. We have like a witches gathering of all these like college girls who are like dressed sexy, and then they go to the forest and there's all these like witches stuff. It's just a really fun, very, very festive, seasonally appropriate, bloody, spooky little movie. So check out Trick or Treat if you haven't.
You got one more?
I have Slaughter High,
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
which starts with a prank like many horror movies do that goes wrong, which then sets up the 20 years later or whatever, now there's revenge.
You might be wondering how I got myself into this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me.
And it's just a very fun bunch of people come back to a high school reunion that only several people were invited to. That's weird. And then they're all murdered one by one by the people.
Yeah,
they
I remember this.
Yeah, it's great.
But I also feel like there are multiple movies
There's
with this
so
kind
many-
of plot.
The Burning.
I feel like there's an April
like-
Fool's movie with this plot.
Sure, there's plenty.
Yeah.
it's
So
very
maybe I
common.
haven't seen it, but I have seen
I just
something
picked
like it.
that one because
This is terrific. It's hard to pick this stuff because there's so many things you can look into.
Yeah.
You can look into, but
Or
also
then,
like
how you perceive it too.
how you perceive
know?
it, and that's why the Psycho Challenge is so great because like I know that as somebody who answers a lot of the emails from Scarecrow, people will like put respond to us on Facebook or Instagram or whatever and say like, well, is this movie okay for this category? And you know what?
It's
The
like,
answer is
yeah.
always yes.
It's always yes.
The answer is always
it's
yes.
literally like
if
how
you think it's
take
good,
it.
yeah, there is absolutely no way we would tell you that you did it wrong.
Also, if you're curious about stuff, you can look at the hashtag SCV Psycho Challenge and
See what other people are watching. Yeah, for sure.
And then always, if you're in the store, you can ask us for recommendations as
We
well.
love it when you do that too.
Yeah. 31 is a very special. 31 is a very special.
I don't have a 31 one.
But you can read it.
Yes, I will read it to you. Yes.
But it is a very special category.
It is a very special category.
Retirement party.
Retirement party.
Watch any movie with the character named Kevin in it. Bonus points if it has a badass movie dog.
You guys remember Kevin.
I miss Kevin.
You guys remember Kevin.
It's so sad that he's dead.
It's really sad that he passed away.
It's really sad that he passed away. Unexpectedly.
I did some research because I was like, I gotta come up with one. It's Kevin, you know. And funnily enough,
Funnel cake.
I believe my pick is a movie that Kevin reviewed along with the others in the series, and I chose Final Destination 3. One of the main survivors off of the deadly roller coaster.
The initial
accident.
deadly roller coaster accident.
His name is Kevin Fleischer.
Is he a wad?
Yeah. You know, he's either a wad or a load.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's what Kevin says, yeah.
So he survives the roller coaster accident, but you know what he doesn't survive? He doesn't survive a subway derailing. So my recommendation is Final Destination 3. If you haven't watched any of the Final Destinations, they're a fucking shit ton of fun. The first one's not so fun because they weren't there, but 2 through whatever, and as many as they come out with until I'm dead, I will watch them because
I would argue that this is the most perfect horror franchise.
It's
There's not a bad one in the bunch.
It's endlessly creative. It's increasingly cringy.
And it always delivers.
So if you're looking for a movie with Kevin in it, Final Destination 3. If you're looking to be like Kevin, watch all the Final Destination movies and review them.
Yeah.
Rich, did you have a Kevin one? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I do.
Is it Up?
I chose it's not, although it is a beautiful bird. I chose the character Kevin Wendell Crumb, played by the Scottish hero James McAvoy in the movie Split and Glass. The man with all the personalities who turns into the beast.
Kevin and I were at Fantastic Fest. We were all at Fantastic Fest that year. Split was the secret screening, but obviously nobody knew what it was, and it doesn't start with opening credits. But we were at the screening, and I sort of intuited from the opening scene that I was watching a Shyamalan movie because of the prominent red props.
He loves it.
He loves that.
He loves it.
And I was like, oh, I think this is that movie Split that Shyamalan's making, not knowing.
So does it not do a title card at the beginning?
It didn't when we saw it.
Uh-huh.
I never have seen it since.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is the Shyamalan movie, and so forth. And we watched it. It was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. And then at the end of the movie, the stinger, spoiler alert, happens with Bruce Willis. And the audience went insane.
I bet they did, dude. I fucking bet they did.
I would have been standing and being like, yeah!
People went absolutely out of their fucking minds, and then the lights came up in the theater, and there's Shyamalan and James McAvoy in the theater.
I want that.
And so, like, I didn't love Split. I thought it was good. Kevin and I enjoyed it, but the experience of seeing it in that environment.
And then Shyamalan's there.
And then they were there, and like not knowing that twist was happening. One of the greatest movie experiences of my life. So much fun.
Yeah.
Well, even though you guys can't replicate that, hopefully we gave you some good recommendations for the Psycho Challenge.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch anything at all, doesn't have to be the stuff that we recommended. Hashtag SCV Psycho Challenge.
Please let us know what
tag
you're
us
watching,
on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And text us what you're watching, or text us, email us, message us what you're watching, or if you have any cool recommendations. Yeah, we'd love to hear.
Let us know. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.